Welcome to Double Crochet Granny Square with Jackie Wall Studio. Please connect with me on social media and take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. For today's video, you will need some yarn and the appropriate crochet hook, and you will need to know how to chain, slip stitch, and to double crochet. For today's Granny Square project, I am going to be using a medium number 4 yarn, and that is telling me I need a 5mm crochet hook. So I will start by just making a slip knot, which we covered in a previous video. And I will start this project with 4 single crochets. That will be our first row. If you prefer to use a magic ring, you can go right ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will slip stitch that into the first chain, and that will be our first row, and we will be working from inside the circle of this chain. Now I'm just going to move my starter tail off to the side for the video. Sometimes I just crochet that right in, but we will just start with that. And so now I am going to chain 3, which is going to start as my first double crochet. From there, I am going to do 3 more double crochets into that ring. 1, 2, 3. So now, in effect, I have 4 double crochets because my first chain starts as a double crochet, and then I am going to chain 3 stitches. All right, and now I am going to repeat that until I have 12 double crochets within my circle, and each will be separated by 3 chains. So here we go again. I will do another set. So now I will have 4 double crochets to do, and then 3 chains, and I will repeat that till I have 4 sets. I'm almost completed the last set. Remember that the first chain of 3 started as a double crochet. So there's my 4 and 3 chains. So now I have 2 more double crochets to do into my circle. There's 1. There's 2. And then 3 chains. All right, there's 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that top chain of the first 3 chains. So I'm just going to slip stitch into that right there. And there I have completed what we will call the second round, because the first round will be the 4 chains. To begin the next round, I am going to start again with 3 chains. Now what I want to do is I want to put a stitch into each of these double crochets of the previous row. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets using the last crochets in the previous round. And this is going to be our next set. So we have the 4 double crochets. Now in this gap, I am going to double crochet 2, followed by 3 chains, and then I'm going to double crochet another 2 into that gap. Now continue this row by doing double crochets into those 4 previous row double crochets. There's 3, and there's 4. Okay, so now I have 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I want to do another 2 stitches here. So each side of our square is going to have 8 stitches now instead of 4. So there we have 8 double crochets, and I will crochet 3 chains for my corner, and then I will start with another 2 double crochets, and then another 4 double crochets into these 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finish this side with another 2 double crochets into that corner and 3 chains. And just repeat that around. All right, I have almost completed my 4th side. I have my 3 chains on the corner, and I have 8 double crochets going across, 4 into the top of those double crochets from the previous row, and 2 in the corner. So now I have to finish off this corner and my first side. So what I'm going to do is now do my 3 chains for my corner and my 2 double crochets, because I have to finish off that first row. We started midway through that row. So there we go. We've got 2 double crochets, and then we're going to finish off this row the same as we did the previous, and we are going to just do a slip stitch into that first chain. And there we go. All right, we are going to move now to our next row. It's the same process, it's just a little bit different of finishing it in the corner. So we're going to start with our 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Now this counts as our first double crochet, so we will not put a stitch into that same hole that our chain is coming from. We will move to the next one to do our next double crochet. So this would be stitch number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 stitches when I get to that corner, and I am going to just do 2 double crochets again in the corner. The corners are always the same. 2 double crochets and 3 chains. And then we'll start on that next side. So the second side that we work on is in effect our first side that we will actually do from start to finish. Okay, so I've done my 3 chains in the corner, and then this row, or this side, sorry, is going to start with 2 double crochets into the corner. All right, and now we have 8 double crochets that we are going to do another double crochet into the top of. All right, so count that across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the previous row that we crochet into the top of, and then 2 into the corner, and then 3 chains for our next corner. And that is a completed side. So you will have 12 double crochets going across. We had 8 here and we had 4 here. So each time you move out to a row, it will increase by 4 stitches. All right, I'm just going to finish this corner by adding one more chain so that I have 3 chains in the corner, and then once again 2 double crochets to start my next side that go right into that gap that we created the last round, and then 8 crochets, 8 double crochets going across again into the top of the stitches of our last round. So I am going to do that and complete this side with 2 double crochets in the corner and 3 chains, and then I'll start on the next row just as we did this one and this one that we're working on currently, and then we'll come to the end and finish. I'll do my 3 chains for my corner. Now I have to finish off this side. So I am going to put 2 double crochets into my corner, but I have to make up 2 stitches to complete that first side. So those will go into the top of those double crochets. And I have completed another side, and I'll just slip stitch that in the top, and then we will be at the next row. Now the next round and every round after this, as I said, will increase by 4. So this round we have 12 stitches going across, 12 double crochets, and then of course our 3 chains in the corner. So our next round is exactly the same as the previous round, where we start with our 3 chains. And this round we will have 16 double crochets, and we're going to skip that first one that our chain is in because it counts as a double crochet, and then we're going to work our way over to the side the same as the last round. So to complete this, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets to get to that corner. All right, I completed that first side. Of course, we have to finish it once we come all the way around. I have done my corner with 2 in the corner and 3 chains. And so this full side will have 2 in the corner, 12 in those previous row double crochets, and 2 more into that corner. And that will be my first full completed side. Now I'm going to do my 3 chains in this corner, and then I will start on this other side. I'll complete that, and I'll come to about here, and then we will finish off this square. Okay, I've almost completed this final round, and each side has 16 stitches here. And I have now done my 3 corner chains, so I have to finish off this first side. So right here, I have 10 stitches, and I need to now have 6 stitches to get to my 16. So I am going to put 2 into the corner. There we go. There is my 2. There are my 2. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 to complete. All right, and there we go. We have now completed our double crochet granny square. And now we will tie it off and work in the ends. All right, now we are going to fasten off our square. So I've already cut my yarn. I wouldn't recommend doing that until right after this stitch, but here we go. We are going to end this just like we did every row. So we're going to go into the top of that first chain at the top, and we are going to slip stitch through just as we did before. Except now to end this, we are going to do a chain. All right, and as we finish that chain, we're just going to pull that thread right through. And then we have ended our granny square. All right, I have my darning needle here. I tend to use a nice big darning needle for, this size of a yarn. When you're using bulkier yarns, it probably is handy to get one of these yarning needles. They're a little bit easier to get your yarn through. So we are just going to take this and we are going to work it through several stitches and pull it through. All right, so then we have a nice end over here. And then if you want, you can just go right back through several stitches. All right, and then just give that a cut. There we go. All finished. There's our front side. And of course, I will now do the same with this one. I'll just work it through a few stitches and come back around and cut it off. And that is fastening off. And congratulations, you've just finished your first granny square. Thank you for watching. And remember, just keep creating.